We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
Taking thought beyond that which it has been before. Yes? You know what you are wanting?
Yes.
Are you enjoying the evolution of your own desire? Yes. Do you think that your beliefs are keeping up with your desire pretty well? Well, if they are, then your desires are manifesting. Boom, 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 boom. But if you've got some sluggish things, some things that you've wanted for a while that aren't coming about quite as quickly as you would like them to, then what that always means is that you have some resistance in your mix. And your mix matters. Your mix is your mix of desires and beliefs. It's your mix of desires and expectations. What it really is your mix of vibration, because this is a vibrational universe. You are a vibrational being. You are transmitting and receiving vibrations, and law of attraction is responding to those vibrations, and that's how it all works. So if you have desires that are not coming about, it is really for only one reason. It's because the vibration of your thought isn't consistent. You want it, but you have an idea of something that you want, but the reality of where you stand has too much of your attention. And that usually is what trips you up more than all other things put together, is that you are enamored, and we get why. This now reality, ooh, it's so rich. Your physical senses make it that way, don't they? Your physical senses make it possible for you to see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it, and so it feels like it is the reality that deserves your attention. And of course it's natural that it has your attention, and if it is a reality that is pleasing you, then give your attention to it. But if there are things about it that you're complaining about, your attention upon what you don't like, your attention upon the part of what is that is unsatisfying to you, is what keeps you in a vibrational holding pattern that causes you to not let in what would be coming in if you weren't doing that thing you're doing that's not letting it in. It's natural that you desire and that your desires manifest. It is natural that the momentum of your desire grow and grow and grow and manifest. But if there is momentum about desire and then momentum about contradictory belief, then you've got yourself all bogged up, and you can feel the sluggishness, you can feel the slowdown. It's always accompanied with negative emotion. Negative emotion always means that that's what you've got going on. Yes? So have you been listening to us for a while? You feel like you've got a pretty good handle on law of attraction and who you are? Then we're going to jump right in to talking directly with you about what matters to you. And as we do, we'll be able to feel if you aren't up to speed somewhere, and don't worry about us, we will wedge our message in the crack. We'll make sure that we give you, through the conversation that is flowing here, everything that you're looking for. But your readiness for it, meaning your expectation about it, meaning you being a cooperative component to your own asking, is important. So these are some things we would suggest. Chill out. There's nothing serious going on here, and you're going to get it. It is our promise to you. So just relax and let it wash over you, because we know where you are in relationship to what you want to know, and so it will unfold in a way that you will understand better than ever before. Also, if someone is in the hot seat who is annoying you, that's not good for you. But don't ask them to be less annoying, because in some cases we've chosen them just for that reason. Because they stir up in you your own questions. In other words, many times they speak for you. So stop pretending like you know more than they do, and just let what happens here on this platform serve you in the way we promise you that it will. What do you want to talk about? Ooh, that was fast, wasn't it? All right. Don't worry if you're far away. We've got you.
Hi. I have 2 questions. The first is I've had some complicated situations in my reality recently, and I wonder if you can give me some additional context to understand what it is that's happening.
We can?
I feel like I'm moving in a positive direction.
For sure.
And I also believe that if there are things I don't have yet, it's because there's resistance. So I suppose I wonder about the context, if it is presenting me with things that I need to learn to be ready, or if there's resistance.
Things that feel in the way and are in the way are not there to teach you a lesson. They're there because you're putting them there with continuous thought. And the most important thing to realize is that these aren't things that happened a long time ago that are still hindering you. In other words, it's not residual stuff unless you keep updating it, like the software update. It's almost like every day the software update is saying, do you choose to update? And you never say later. You always say, yeah, update me right now. Help me remember all the bad things that I remembered from before. In other words, we're just speaking a little bit about your humanness, dumb. It's always about something active going on. So you want to talk a little more about it and we'll help you sort it out?
Like the specifics?
Whatever you want.
Well,
so what you're saying is, there are things that I desire. Give us the broader picture. What do you hope to accomplish here and now?
What do I hope to accomplish here and now? I guess, truthfully, validation that I'm moving in the right direction is what I was looking for, which puts you in a weird position.
Our position's fine. Anything that's in your mix is affecting how you feel. And if you will not try to look so far ahead and figure it all out, but just ask yourself moment by moment, thought by thought, when you get a train of thought going that is the complicated thing that you're talking about, just ask yourself this simple question. And as we move forward here today, we'll explain this in greater and greater fullness until it will be serving all of you in a very productive way. Is this train of thought satisfying or unsatisfying? Because if you find yourself continually returning to unsatisfying train of thought, then that's your culprit right there. That's where you are continually introducing the resistance, which is slowing everything down. Does that make sense to you?
It does. And I think the place that's most clearly coming up recently is in my conversations with other people, because I feel so good, and I know that the specifics of my life don't exactly match up with how good I feel yet.
But you see, that's got to be the way you all are doing all the time. Because if you allow the expectations of others, first of all, to affect you, and next, if you allow the expectations or the perception that others have about you to be about where you stand right now in terms of the things that they know you want, or even that they want for you, if you let what they are perceiving about you dominate your relationship with them and cause you to think about it a lot, then it's like you've got your feet nailed right to the floor, because you can't move past that. You have so much vibrational reality that you have moved out ahead of you. We call it your vibrational reality. It's what's in your vortex. It's the active and real creation that is underway that hasn't manifested so that it can be seen or heard or smelled or tasted or touched, but it is vivid and it is real and it is becoming. So you don't want to continue to have conversations with yourself or others about what is, if what is hasn't been filled in with most of what you really want. So now, rather than speaking in these vague terms, which is not very satisfying to anyone who's listening in, do you want to talk about something that's real, or did you get enough from what we've said already?
I think I'm ready to go to the second question.
All right.
I was hoping that we could play just a little bit because as I said, I feel good, and I would love to turn it up a little bit, melt whatever resistance that I have a little bit.
All right, so now we
further.
want to talk about this, because sometimes it's a good time to turn it up and sometimes it isn't. And sometimes you're not in quite the good place that you think you are, and sometimes you are. And so this subject is about, since we say to you, you create your own reality, and we say to you that you do it through the thoughts that you think, and then law of attraction is responding to your thoughts. But you've been thinking more than right now in this moment. You've been thinking while you've been living some contrast. You've been thinking while things have not been going so well. In other words, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. So you've been doing the step one part of the creative process for a very long time, knowing what you don't want, knowing what you do want, and therefore asking for improvement, asking for new things. Step two is Source has been answering those and has put them into a vibrational vortex, into a vibrational reality. That was Source right there. Putting them into a vibrational state of being that you don't have to work about. In other words, it's all lined up. And the cooperative components, even though you can't see them yet, have been organized and orchestrated and are gathering together. So then your work, your conscious work now, let's start again. You've already done all the creating. Do you know you did all the creating in step one? That's when you carved out from life what you wanted. But now you've done the asking and Source has done the answering, and now you're going to do the turning thoughts to things part. You're going to get into a vibrational stance where you can begin the delicious witnessing of the unfolding of the journey. You're going to find a vibrational stance where you're in what we call the receptive mode, where you receive impulses and ideas and conversations. It's where your timing becomes precise. It's where you begin rendezvousing with aspects of your life that enrich it and that are fun and that make you feel alive and that give you a steady sense of progress toward what you're wanting. So when you are in that receptive mode, then doing what you are asking us to do with you is a really good idea, because you're adding momentum to a pure vibration. And when you add momentum to a pure vibration, then anything that comes from it is going to be more and more and more satisfying. But if you are in a place of needing something, if you're in a place of still disappointment where what you want is not coming about, and that's when you decide to turn up the juice, then what happens is you enhance the wrong end of the vibrational stick, and instead of producing more momentum toward what you want, you introduce more resistance against what you want, and then you sort of get stalled out. Esther always asks the office to send many boxes of affirmation cards. They're on the tables out there, 6 different boxes. And what they are words that we have specifically projected to Esther, concepts that we have intended for her to receive. And then she has found the words for them, and then we've evaluated the precision of the words, because we want these cards to be vibrationally accurate. All right, so hold that thought for just a moment. We want you to be vibrationally accurate. We want you to find vibrational equivalency with your own inner being who's in the vortex and with your own ideas of what you want. Often you are not. Often you are a vibrational match to the absence of what you want. So if you are in some moment feeling the dissatisfaction, which is always present when you are in that moment offering a vibration which is equivalent to the absence of what you want, and that's the time that you decide that you'll have a dialogue with someone, or that you'll look through a deck of affirmation cards, that's when, not meaning to, you activate subjects, but you activate the absence of them, and instead of helping yourself, you hinder yourself. It's what we call trying too hard. It's what some have called fake it till you make it. If you say the words long enough, you will start to believe them. And we say, if you say the words from a place of not believing them longer, you'll not believe them more. You just have to get into the receiving mode before you begin to affirm.